All right, okay, guys. Hi, good morning. Can you all hear me and see a screen? Yes, can hear me, can see a screen. Let me know on the chat box ideally. Yes, give me a second. Mm. All right, okay. I can just maybe remind a few friends also if they're in the group and if they're not here. Okay. So since this is the very first session, I have a few things to let you all know, right? We'll make this very, very clear and then we'll go forward so that you, me, and everyone from this we can benefit. All right. Okay. First things first, I usually do start on time, right? Unless there is an emergency, I will let you all know on the group. If I will not be starting online, there will be a message on the group, right? If there is a 10-minute delay, there will be a message on the group. If not for that, I do start right on time. Okay, that is one. The second one is about this entire class, the entire recording, and all of it. Okay, so I've decided that I'm not going to give the recording, right? The recording of this class will not be provided to anyone apart from my current fast track students, right? My current students who are already coming for my class. Apart from them, I will not be giving. The reason is that not that I'm going to lose anything by giving it to you. The main reason that I'm not going to give it because it is very hard to coordinate, guys, right? It's because the moment I start giving the recordings, right, there is hundreds and 200s of messages that come on my chat box asking one maybe when I will be uploading the recording. So the recording is not working. What can I do? It's not easy on my end to coordinate with so many people. So there are three groups with different people, and what happens is one person comes, let's say 2 3 months later, and that person has no idea about what we have done, and the person starts asking you for previous recordings. So it's very hard on that end to coordinate a lot of things and get things done. So therefore it will only be provided for my current fast track students, because them I already coordinate and I already give them the fast track recording. So in that platform itself I can provide them this, so that issue is not there. That is the main reason that I will not be giving the recording. Even the old revision class students, guys, no, I'm not going to provide it, because even one main issue I've had with the old revision class students is there are still students texting and asking for recordings, right? So uh, about their revision class recordings, that this is not working, that is not working, right? So I've been very lenient on you all on the recordings, but from now on it is not going to be the case, because at the end of the day, right, I'm teaching you all for free. I'm not expecting anything from you all. So if you all really want to get it done, you all can wake up in the morning, Saturday 7 to 9, come, and you all could learn, right? And one more thing is that these recordings will be available on YouTube, right? But please don't drop me a text asking when it will be uploaded on YouTube, because even I don't know, right? Because once I do this class, I send the recording to the people in charge. They have to edit it, right? They need to add in a small part that comes in the beginning and all of that. That editing itself, because these are 2 hour videos, right? It takes a long time. It takes a long time to render, around 3 4 hours, it takes to render. And then again to upload it, it takes another few hours. So entirely usually to upload make one video and upload one video itself, it takes one entire day. So, and not that one entire day we are free doing nothing. So because of that, I can't guarantee you when it will come on YouTube, but hopefully before you all do your exam, right, it will be there, right? I will not put it after your exam, but don't drop me a text asking, when will it be uploaded on YouTube, this and that. You all just subscribe to the channel and stay tuned, right? So in case there is a new video, you all will get a notification. Then remember, there is some bell icon thing to press, right? So in case there is a new video, you all will get a notification if that is the case. All right, so I'm repeating once again. One is I start on time. Number two is recording will not be provided apart from the current fast track students, because one, it's very hard to coordinate, right? With so many people texting asking for recordings, it's not at all easy to coordinate. Okay, that is that story. Okay, and then now, right, so very sorry if I sounded mean, right? But just being a little realistic and being fair with everyone, because I sometimes when things are given for free, it's taken for granted, right? Because if you actually go and do this, they will charge you, right? For a past paper class, it's a very rare person would do it for free. They would charge you for attending a past paper class, so they might do 1 or 2 sessions free. I did it for entire 6 months, and I will continue it until the syllabus is over from this week onwards. Okay, now for those who are joining newly, for those who are wondering what on earth is happening here, why is this fellow, starting on, going on with a few recordings and this and that. Okay, what are we doing here, or what is happening here, right? This is for people who are kind of joining newly to give you all an idea. Okay, what we do in Beyond the Classroom, right? It is an initiative by iTutorSL, right? I teach, and what we do is we discuss past papers, right? Economics English medium past papers from 2011 all the way to 2020. So that's 10 past papers, the MCQs and the essay questions. All of that will be discussed. Every single question that is there in the paper from 2011 to 2020 will be discussed. So how do we discuss this, or what is the approach we take? Okay, we look at, we don't go paper by paper, we go unit by unit. Okay, so we start off with unit number 1, right? We did this around 5-6 months ago. We started with unit number 1. We discussed all the MCQs for unit number 1. So how we do it, we start with 2011, we do all the unit 1 MCQs under 2011. We then move on to 2012. We then move on to 2013. So likewise, we finish all the unit 1 MCQs. Then we move on to the unit 1 essay question. Same way, 2011, 12, 13, all the way to 20, we discuss all the MCQs. And then unit 1 is completed. So that is the approach that we take. We don't go paper by paper. We don't finish 2011, the entire paper, and then we don't go and do the 2012 entire paper. All right. So where we are, right? So far in the, I'll just give me a second. Okay, so far in this, we have discussed, right? We have completed unit 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is completed. Okay, if you all are aware. Okay, we have done unit 1, right? Both MCQs and essay questions is done. Unit 2 we have done, right? That is market forces. Unit 3 we have done. We did 2 and 3 together, right? If you all do remember. We did unit 4, that is production cost and market structures. We did unit 5, right? And now we are in unit 6. Okay, so these recordings will be uploaded on YouTube. I'll let you know which ones are uploaded. Unit 1 is uploaded. Okay, unit 1 in the YouTube channel, all the recordings is there. So if you all have missed it, you all can definitely go and watch it on YouTube. Unit 2 is also there, right? 2 and 3. 2 and 3 is together actually, because there is a very big link between 2 and 3. So we discussed 2 and 3 together. Those are there. Now this unit 4 and unit 5, we have done the class already. So we are in the process of, making that video, uploading. That takes time, like I mentioned before. That will also be uploaded on YouTube on our channel, that you all can go and watch any amount of times that you want to do. Okay, so now we are currently in unit 6. In unit 6, we did one class, right? We did one session. In that session, if I'm not mistaken, we discussed the MCQs, right? MCQs of 2012 and the MCQs of 2013. This we have done, right? This has been completed. If I'm not mistaken, is that where we stopped? I checked with a few of my fast track students also. Is that, sorry, 11 and 12, right? Not 12 and 13. 11 and 12? Yes. So we have done 11 and 12. Perfect. So this is what we have done so far. So the unit 6 MCQs of uh, in the papers 2011 and 2012 we have completed. So I'm not going to touch that again. That session recording is also there. That will be uploaded in the meantime on YouTube. I'm repeating, guys, please don't ask me when it will come on YouTube. Don't drop me a text also, because when 200, 300 people drop me a text, it's very hard to find and reply, find time to reply. And also, I also don't know when exactly it would be replied. And okay, another thing, please read the messages that come on Beyond the Classroom very carefully, right? I'm not going to spam the group with any unwanted thing. If there is anything relevant to you all, I'll put it. Okay, and that is why it's set admins only, because I don't want anyone else sharing unwanted stuff on that, right? I have no problem with you all texting, but the moment you all start sharing, the main messages get ignored. So be make sure that you all are only in one group, right? There is 3 groups beyond the classroom, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, it's the same message that will be there in all 3. So don't, there is no need for you to be in 2 or 3 groups. If you're already in 2, maybe leave one, just stay in one. All right. So then this is where we are. Okay, now what we have to do so far, right? What we have coming forward, the class will be on the same time, right? Saturday 7 to 9. Sometimes I might have a few extra sessions, probably on Sunday morning also, right? If I want to go a bit more faster, I might take up Sunday morning 7 to 9. In case I'm taking, in addition to Saturday, if I'm taking Sunday also, I will let you all know on the group. Okay, so on the group the link would come, right? Anything that we discuss will also come, so you all are free when we are doing the questions to take screenshots, to do whatever things that is up to you all. Okay, the recording will come on YouTube, but it will take some time. Okay, then what do we have left, right? What do we have left to discuss starting from today? So starting from today we have all of these, right? From unit 6 we have all the MCQs, right, from 2013 to 2020. And then we have unit, all the other units, right? All the other units, unit 7 to unit 12, MCQs and essay questions. We have the essay questions, right? Essay questions, unit 7 and this thing, we have both MCQs and essay questions left. Now, okay, in order to get the highest benefit from this program, right? If you really want to benefit or make use of this, ideally, right, you need to do the question beforehand and come, because I am not going to give you time, right? I only have 2 hours here. I will not be giving you all time to read the question, do the question and all of it. I will simply read the question, I will discuss it and keep going. If you have not done the question before, it's going to be a little bit of Greek, right? If you have not uh, done the question before, that is going to be a problem. So in the meantime, right now, you all should have some common sense now, right? So from where we stop, what we will be doing is we'll be going MCQs now. We'll go MCQs and then we'll go for essay questions. So once we have done, I will let you all know next class also what we'll be doing. You should be also having the common sense to figure out what we will be doing. You all are supposed to, right? I'm not going to keep on troubling you all saying do this, do that. Now, fast experience, I'm hoping that by now you all would have finished all this and you all are in unit number 9, right? But the others, right, start doing it now itself. And fast track students, I don't think that these questions are a challenge at all. I was just going through these questions also. Compared to the questions that we've discussed, I feel these past papers were almost very, very easy, right? I just went through today in the morning and I actually felt that. And I think you all also feel the same way, but never mind, we'll go through. But okay, on your end, right, few things. Okay, I'll just remind you. We start on time for those who joined newly. 7 a.m. is 7 a.m. Unless there is a delay, I will let you know. Maybe if I overslept, or not that doesn't happen that often, but rarely. In case I have overslept, I will let you all know. We'll start at, let's say, some other time. And then number 2, right? No recordings will be provided. So please don't drop in a text asking for recordings. If you really want, come to class. Number 3 is you do the questions and come, right? Do the questions and come, because I will not be giving you all time to do the questions. And then number 4, right? I will definitely expect you to have some knowledge on the unit, right? You can't be someone completely blank with this unit and then come to do past papers. Then this class is not really for you. If you're really, really blank, if you have no option, maybe try and get some note, try and learn somewhere. Or else, you all know there is the recordings in my website. You can purchase those and do something, right? That is up to you all. Do whatever you all want, but you need to have some knowledge, right? You need to have, I'm not expecting you to be 100% perfect. That is why you all are here to learn, guys, right? So some knowledge on the unit, that has to be there, because otherwise it's not going to make any sense. Whatever that I'm going through is not going to make sense, because I will not really be going into very basics, right? Because I expect with 3 months to go for A levels, you all know the basics now. So I will be going a little bit advanced. I'm not saying very, very advanced, but a little bit advanced, and teaching it to someone who already knows the unit. I am just here to help you all do the question and revise the unit, not to teach you the unit the very first time. So that, I'm hoping those things are very, very clear. Yes, anyone, any questions apart from this? Please do ask now. Anything? Yes, no, fine. No question? No? All right, okay. So we'll start with the place where we stopped. So where did we stop? We did 2011 and 2012. We need to start with the 2013 MCQs, right? We need to do the 2013 MCQs from unit 6 onwards. Okay, done. So I'll just show you this thing. Has the economic paper model changed? Not really. It's almost it's the same thing. Okay, so 2011 we've done. That is why I have different things drawn on my whiteboard. 2012 we've done, right? We did this sometime back. That's why I've drawn it again. And now we have to start with 2013, right? Okay, as practice, okay, when I discuss the question, I want you all to give in your answer on the chat box so that I know, depending on the answers you all give me, I know how many people have got it right. I know how many people have got it wrong, so I can explain it in that manner, right? Because if everyone has got it right, then I don't have to go very much in detail to explain. So please give in me your answer. If you have not done it before, at least do it and come, right? At least from next week, do it and come. So I'll just let you know the plan. So we'll do the 2013 MCQs, unit number 6. So there is around 1, 2, 3, there's around 4 MCQs. 2014, I think there was no MCQ. I couldn't find any. 2015, there were many, right? We'll go that way. We'll go 2016 likewise. We'll go all the way to 2020. So you all today will figure out where we stop. So from the place we stopped, next week, your goal is by Saturday to do the rest of the questions and come. All right. Okay, we'll start with this. Now these should be very easy, guys, for someone who knows the unit, right? Fast accidents. I'm hoping this can't be an issue now. All right. Okay. Question 1. 2013 A levels MCQ 22. Okay, guys, I'm not starting from the middle. I'm starting from where we stopped. If anyone joined newly. Okay. Okay. Suppose that autonomous consumption is rupees 400 and marginal propensity to consume is 0.8. If disposable income increases by 1200, consumption spending will increase by. What do you all think the answer is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's an easy one, right? I'll just give you a head start. When they ask you, when they give you something like this, you need to figure out the MPC equation. What is MPC? Marginal propensity to consume. That we know. What does that measure, guys? MPC or marginal propensity to consume measures that when your income changes, by how much will your consumption change by? That is what we're really looking at. So the equation is change in consumption, change in, and also one more thing, I would like to have you all maintain a separate book for these past papers. People who have already had a book, continue in that. Others who are maybe starting newly, do maintain a book. Do all this separately. Don't mark your answer in the past paper book itself, because you might have to do it in the future also again. So don't mark it in the past paper book itself. Take a separate paper and write the question number and the answer, and maybe any supporting notes that I jot down here, you all can write those down as well. Okay, right. So it's change in consumption divided by change in income, or you can even say disposable income. Both are okay, right? Okay, so in this case, this is not at all a tough MCQ. They would have given you a few numbers, right? They will sometimes give you a little bit of extra numbers also. Those extra numbers you need to ignore. You don't have to focus too much on that. You can ignore. Okay, so if you look at it, what are the numbers they've given here? They have given you MPC. They've said MPC is 0.8, right? They are asking you by how much will consumption spending increase by. So the change in consumption is what you need to find, right? So change in consumption is what you need to find. Change in income, have they given you the change in income? Yes. Can you all see that disposable income increases by 1200? So change in income is also directly given, guys. It's 1002. So can you all work this around, right? Do a bit of your math and move it around and see how much do we get as change in consumption. How much do we get? So change in consumption is equal to, I'll take the 1002 on the other side, becomes 0.8 into 1200. Right. I'm showing you all the workings, but in your A-level paper, MCQs, you don't have to do all these workings, right? These are very easy MCQs. The moment you see it, 1200, 0.8, you multiply and you get it. These workings are shown for you to understand the logic behind it. Okay. So is equal to 960. That becomes your answer. So when income increases by 1002, your consumption increases by 960. That is your final answer. So 22, we end up with answer number 4. Guys, I'll be very honest with you. These MCQs are very, very basic, right? So if you are struggling with these MCQs, if you feel you have not understood anything, that means you have a little bit of an issue with that unit. So go study that unit if that is what you're feeling right now. If you're feeling that this is very easy, then that's fine. You're at a good level. But if you're feeling it tough, I'll tell you, it's a very easy MCQs if you know the unit. Okay, done. Question 22 is done. Then we're going to question 23. Okay. In a closed economy with only lump sum taxation, guys, what does this lump sum taxation mean? Won't the autonomous consumption affect? No, they're simply asking you what is the change in consumption. So that autonomous consumption part you can simply ignore. Okay, right. What is this lump sum tax? What does that mean? What is lump sum tax? Hmm? New words coming in. Yes, a lump sum tax means that there is only autonomous taxes. So usually, right, exactly fixed, right? Your taxes, you have this, right? You have T, right? Plus there is this T1 into Y, just like consumption A plus BY. So, but in your syllabus, right, we don't talk about this. When in your syllabus, whenever they give you taxes, they don't give you, a marginal propensity tax. I have seen some teachers they give that, but that is not there in your syllabus, right? So you only have that this one in directly in your paper they will say T equals 500. They will not say T equals 500 plus 0.2y. No, they will not give you that, right? In your syllabus it is not there. That 0.2y part is not there. So we don't assume, we assume that, right? In our syllabus we assume that taxes are lump sum. Oh, there is only a autonomous part of tax, that taxes doesn't depend on income, but in reality it does. So in your syllabus they will directly give you it this way. They will not expand it further. That is what a lump sum tax is. Okay, yes, at any level of income this is going to be the same. Zero level of income also it's going to be the same. Okay, then we say in an economy with only lump sum taxes, if marginal propensity to save is equal to 0.25, a 80 billion increase in government purchase could cause a maximum increase in output of how much? What do you think? Guys, there are two equations that you need for this. All of these sums that you get revolves around two main equations. Okay, just make sure that you all know these equations. One is K, it's your multiplier, is equal to 1 over 1 minus MPC, or else another way of giving this is you can say 1 over MPS, right? Okay, okay. If I confused you by giving it the same place, let me give it to you at a different place, right? So this is the first equation, that is 1 over 1 minus MPC or 1 over 1 MPS. Guys, I'm hoping you all know what MPC, MPS, all of that is. That is the first equation. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, this is the first one. Okay. Then what is the second equation that you all need to know? You all need to know that K is equal to change, right? Change in what divided by change in what? Hmm? Your multiplier is also equal to change in income, right? That's your national income or your output divided by your change in autonomous expenditure. So autonomous expenditure can be autonomous. It can be your A component in your consumption function. It can be investment. It can be government spending. It can even be taxes, right? So any of that is fine. So these two equations is what your whole questions revolve around with, right? Your all of your questions revolve around this. So now shall we just see what are the information that we have got here, right? They have said MPS is equal to 0.25. Okay, so MPS is given, right? The moment they give you MPS, you can calculate the multiplier. Yes, how much is our multiplier now? If MPS is 0.25, how much is our multiplier? K is equal to 1 divided by 0.25, guys. 1 divided by 0.25 is 4 times. So what does that mean? That means if some autonomous expenditure, right, increases, that your national income increases 4 times more, right? Because it gets on multiplying. I'm hoping you all know what the multiplier is. So K is equal to 4. If that is the case, now we go to the second equation. Is all of these equations are needed for for me to teach you the theory, but in your exam you can do this all in your mind, right? You don't have to write all these equations. Do it. I am teaching it this way because not everyone is at that standard, but please remember at your exam you can't be writing equations like this and doing all of that. You soon you need to make it, right? Okay, so K is equal to 4, right? K is equal to 4. Change in income is what they're asking you. They're asking you what is the maximum change in output that can come. So output to income, same thing. I guess also change in output. And then what is the number I need to put down over here? Change in autonomous expenditure. Can you see that there is a 80 billion increase in government purchase? So that is the number that I need to put over here. So now work around and get me the change in output. How much is the change in output? Change in output is 80 into 4. How much is that? Is 320. So 80 into 4, you end up with 320. That is the answer. Okay, so if I ask you, right, in the same question, if I ask you what is the change in consumption, what do you all think the answer would be? Not change in output, right? Now here they're asking for change in output. In the same question, what if they ask you what is the change in consumption as a result of this? What do you all think? Hmm? What do you think the answer would be? No, not 75. I want a fixed number. Change in consumption. Now, when this increases by what 80 billion, we are saying national income will increase by 320. But by how much will consumption increase by? That is my question. Hmm? Yes, in case, right? In case in your question, if they ask you, give you a some very similar to this, and they ask you in a situation like this, right, what will happen when national income increases by 300? So if they ask you what is the change in national income, you directly do this. But if they ask you, right, for the change in consumption as a result of this, if they ask you for a change in consumption, guys, remember, from this change in national output, right, or change in output, you have to minus, right, you have to remove the initial increase, right? How much is the initial increase? The initial increase is a 80 billion, no? Government spending is increasing by 80 billion. No? So you remove that 80 billion and then you get the change in consumption. So change in consumption will be how much? Change in consumption will be 240 billion, right? Okay, why is it? You need a bit of understanding, but okay, I'll show you. Okay, how does this entire process work? Okay, let me try to find some space. Hold on. Okay, how does this work? Guys, I'm hoping you all know a bit of a multiplier, right? Okay, so government comes, right? According to this question, government comes, and what does he do? He increases, okay, right? What does he come and do? He increases government spending by 80 million. So government increases spending by 80, oops, sorry, by 80 billion. Now, when government comes and increases the spending, what do you all think happens? Right now, this is where the multiplier story comes in, right? So government come and increasing spending means let's just assume that the government is let's say building a highway. They are spending this 80 billion as a to build a highway. So what will happen? This 80 billion, obviously, yes, for the highway expenditure, government spending will increase. Then let's say, right, this money is going to, right, this 80 billion, let's say the entire 80 billion, will assume, right, the entire 80 billion is to pay salaries of these people building the highway. Let's say that is the case. So people who are getting that money, right, so the workers in the highway who are getting that 80 billion, right, they're getting 80 billion. Remember, there is an MPC here. The MPC is 0.75. So from the money that they get, they will only consume 0.75. How much is that? 80 billion into 0.75 is how much? 60 billion. Yeah. Okay. So they will be consuming 60 billion. So okay, let's say these people who are getting their who are getting this salary, right? They are consuming 60 billion. Let's say they are paying their let's say they're buying food from the 60 billion. So now that 60 billion goes from this person to another person, right? So this is consumption. This is government spending, right? This is consumption where this person is spending it on food. Okay, consumption. So then let's say this person is spending that 60 billion. Let's say he's spending it on food. So the person who is let's say supplying food, let's say a person in a grocery store, so he is getting that 60 billion. From that 60 billion, he will be spending 0.75 of it. That is the MPC in our question. So how much will he be spending? He'll be spending 45. So he'll be spending 45 for consumption. Then so let's say he's spending it on, let's say, to pay his children's school fees. So there is someone else who will get that 45 billion now. So that 45 billion will again into 0.7. Likewise, right? Likewise, this what government spending, this initial increase in government spending gets multiplied. It goes from one person to another person to another person, and at the end, right, at the end we found that national income, because of this, national income increases by how much? By 320. That's what we found, guys. That is what we are finding. So it goes from one person to another person to another person, right? At the end, right, there is a total increase of, there is a total, there is a total increase of 320. So now in the question, in this question, they asked you for this value, right? In the question, they actually asked you for this value. That is why you can't be finding step by step. That is why you use these equations and you found out. But I'm telling you, in this same question, if they ask you what is not the change in output, but what if they ask you, so if they ask you for the change in output or change in national income, you get that, right? So change, a second. Guys, is this font visible, the color? Or should I change the color? Output, or let's say they ask income, right? You need to give this. But in the same question, if they ask you, right? If they ask you for the change in consumption, what did I tell you? From the change in output, if you can remove this, because all of the others, right? Initial one is government spending, no? All of the others is consumption. So from the change in output, what you calculated, if you can remove, okay, so if you can remove this G part, right, that is the initial increase 80. If you can remove this, then you can get the total of all of these, no? So that is what I told you. From the 320, if I can remove this 80 billion increase, I will get a 240 billion. That is the change in consumption. So in case in the question, right, if the question is change in consumption, we'll do, I'm sure there will be questions like that. If the question was change in consumption, how do you take it? You take 320, change in national income, and you remove the initial increase. So you get 204. Is that clear? Yes, that's the whole logic behind that thing, because it passes on to consumption. If they ask you for change in consumption, you need to remove that off. There is another way of showing, finding this in case they ask you for change in consumption, right? I'll just let you know that also, but even this method is easy. That method is also okay. Another way that you can do it is you can take this national income 320, and if you multiply the MPC, what is MPC? When income changes, by how much will consumption change by? So you can take the 320, right? So this is one way of finding that answer. Okay. The other way of finding this answer is that you can take the 320 and you multiply it by the MPC 0.75, and then also you get 240. That is, you only do this, guys, when they ask you to find the change in consumption. In this question, they have not asked you for the change in consumption. They have only asked you for the change in national income as a result of this. So in your question, the answer is 320. Okay, I'm hoping that is clear. So that's that. Okay, so I'll give you all a second. Maybe if you want to take a screenshot, you all can just take it. Guys, it's up to you all to make your own notes, make things like that. Don't wait for the teacher to spoon feed you everything, right? So take a screenshot the way you all understood, make your note, right? Everything what you should do is learn from the MCQ so that next time if it comes, you can do it properly. Okay, right. We'll go into this. Okay, 24. Do you want me to have a? Okay, I'll give you a few seconds, right? It says in a closed economy with no government, C is equal to 30 plus 0.7y, where C is consumption and Y is income. Equilibrium level of income is 300 million. What is the level of investment? Okay, just I'll launch a poll for the fun of it. Okay, give me your answers. I'll give you like a few seconds. At least I know how many of you all are listening there. Give in some answer that you all feel. There are 118 people here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if you don't know an answer, give me an answer. At least I know that you're listening then. At least, Kannada put in something. Okay, so I only have 32 answers. Okay, there's a poll. You just select an option that is on your screen. Even if you don't know mine, just give me an answer. So I know that you're actually listening and you understand what I say. No? Okay, I'll give you a few more seconds. I'll give you 15 more seconds. Give me any answer, guys. Right answer, wrong answer, fine. Because I don't see your name, I don't see anything. Okay, 4 seconds more. Yes, one of the why would be an answer. Okay, so okay, good to see there is actually a bit of people who are actually listening, not everyone though. Yes, I can't no, I don't see the name. So there is 84 people who have there is 84 who have voted, and most have voted for number 1. I think that is the answer. We'll do it and see, right? So 84 people means from these 120, only 84 are listening to me. That is what it means, right? So this poll is not really to get the answer, it's to just see how many of you all are actually listening. Okay, right. We'll get back to our question. Okay, right. In a closed economy with no government, they're asking you what is the level of investment. So what are you doing here, guys? You're finding equilibrium level of national income. So y is equal to c plus I. Okay. In this question, they have given you y. They have said equilibrium income is 300. Consumption they have given as well. They have said it's 30 plus 0.7 y. So instead of y, they have given 300. So I will directly put 0.7 into 300. I'm hoping that is okay. The consumption equation, instead of y, I'm putting the amount of y that they gave plus investment. So work things around. You can find investment now. It's not hard, right? So 300 is equal to, how much is this? 30 plus 0.7 into 300 is 210. 210 plus 30 is 240 plus I. Questions doesn't get easier as this. So I is equal to how much? 300 minus 240. Your investment is equal to 60 million. Right? So that is the answer for your next question. Fine. Answer number 1, as most of you all pointed out. Right? Okay, we'll go on to the next question. This one. This is a good, not hard at all, but it's an interesting question because people get a little scared when they see a diagram. Right? Oh, a diagram. What is this? So many letters marked. Don't get a little scared. Right? But it's actually a very easy one. Okay, the question says the diagram below shows the savings and investment curves of a closed economy with no government. That means a simple economy. There is only savings and investment. The potential level of output is YP. Okay, so they have said potential output is YP. That is this. Okay, given. Therefore, the gap between actual output and potential output can be measured by the distance. So potential output is this. How much is the actual output? Now, for you to find the gap between actual and potential, you need to find what is the actual, how much is the actual output here? Where do you think it is? This is the withdrawals equals injections diagram, right? So in the withdrawals equals injections diagram, right, where do you have this thing? So they say that this is a simple economy, right? A simple economy with no government. So withdrawals is your savings, injections is your investment. So where is your savings and investment being equal to each other? Where is it being equal to each other? At which point? That is your equilibrium level of output, guys. This is your equilibrium level. This is your point of equilibrium. So at the point of equilibrium, you draw a line down, you can find your equilibrium level of output. So that is YE, right? YE. This is YE. Okay. So this is your actual output, guys. So what is the gap between your actual output and potential output now? Look at the diagram now. How can you measure it from letters? What's the gap between YE and YP? It is equal to G and H. So that is the gap, right? That's how you find it out. These are very simple MCQs. You just need to know the diagram, right? So when they ask you the gap between potential and output, right? So first of all, what you need to do is you need to find where the actual output is. So where is the actual output, guys? This is the withdrawals equals injections approach. Right? I'm explaining this again, right? So withdrawals equals injections approach. Where do you find this thing? Where W equals J. So where is W equals J? Savings is your withdrawals. Injection investment is your injections. Where are those two equal? At point G. So that is your actual output. So the gap between the actual and the potential is this G and H. Hoping that is okay. Yes, Shiv. Not that hard. Okay. This is your answer. Done. Okay, so we are no, we have one more. Okay, this one. In one okay, there's a question JH. Let me see. Hold on. JH, that is nothing, guys. That is where your that is not your gap between actual and potential. That can be called your deflation, the output gap if you want to. But that deflation output gap, we not output gap, the deflationary gap, but that ideally you measure using the Y and E curves, not this. Okay, so this is the amount by how much. This is the level. If they ask you by how much is savings greater than investment, then something like that, that would have been the answer. This is not the gap between actual and potential. This is the actual, this is the potential. So the gap between those two is this. Okay. Right. The next question is 26. Question 26. Okay, this is actually a very easy one. In 1 year, they say the total spending on consumption, investment, and government purchases was equal to 103% of a country's GDP. This would be possible only if, a very common question. What do you think? So you have C plus I plus G, that is equal to 103. So C plus I plus G, what is the another name that you all can give for this, guys? C plus I plus G is also called the what? It's called the G What? It's called the GDE. So the GDE of the country they are saying is 103, C plus I plus D. In the same context, they are saying the GDP is only 100. So GDE is 103% means that is this is what they are saying. So how can this happen? How can the GDE be 103 and the GDP be only 100? What's the difference between GDE and GDP? It's your net exports, right? It's your net exports. So how can this be 103 and your GDP be 100 days? Your net export, how much should your net exports be? Your net exports should be how much? 3 or minus 3? It has to be minus 3. It has to be a negative 3. Then only you can get that 100. So net exports negative means what? What does this mean? Net exports negative means, right? You have a budget, current account. So you can even say negative. So current account, not okay, not really a current account deficit, but yeah, okay, net exports negative. Okay, so which one talks about that? There's a direct answer there, right? Which answer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's answer number 3. Guys, these are very easy MCQs. Okay, so you end up with answer 3. Net exports were negative. That is why the GDE, that is consumption, investment, and government purchases, was equal to 103% of the GDP. So if this is 100, they are saying this is 103. How can that happen? Because your net exports is negative. All right, that is question 26. Do we have more? Okay, done. Okay, how many of you all got all of these correct? I mean, not while I am discussing. You genuinely could have got all of these correct. No, you don't really need a knowledge on the previous lesson also. You can just go with aggregate demand and stuff like that. All correct? Yes. Not that hard, right? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what are 5? Shit. Okay, right. Can you just check, right? Is there a question on this on macroeconomic equilibrium in the 2014 paper? Because I have not put any picture. I feel that there was maybe when I went through, I didn't find any question. Can you just check and let me know? In the we're done with 2013 now. We go to 2014. Can you check and let me know in the 2014 paper is there a question? Macroeconomic equilibrium MCQs. Question 21. Give me a second. Let me see. Sorry, hold on. Question. Okay, someone says there is question 21. No question. Wait. We'll just check. Question. This is the answers. Question paper. 21. Conditions of equilibrium. Guys, this is unit number 4, guys. This is not macroeconomic equilibrium. This is this thing. 22. This is business cycle. I think we would have discussed it in the previous one. And 23. Guys, did we discuss 23 when we discussed unit number 5? Yes, we did that, right? So that's done. 24 also we would have done. Higher than the base here. This I don't think we did, but this is not really this unit. This no, did we do this? Okay, G and P consequence higher than the base here. So we would have done this also. Yeah, 25 is also done. Yes. Okay, so then 26, this is money supply. Okay, so we are done. 26 and 7, that is money supply. So we don't have a question from this unit. Okay, we have done until 25 in the previous units. The recording will come sometime on YouTube. Give it some time. Okay. Right. Let me get back to my whiteboard. Okay, done. So we're going into the 2015 paper. Very satisfying, when you skip an entire paper. Okay. Right. Again, a very easy question. Okay, they're giving you, consider the following macroeconomic data for an economy which is operating at equilibrium income level. They've given you consumption, tax revenue, government purchase, imports, exports, and GDP. What is the level of investment? What is the level of investment, guys? What do you think? Investment is Y. Sorry, Y is your GDP. Okay, I'll just show you how to do it. This is your Y. So Y is equal to C plus I plus G plus net export. So your GDP is given as 8,000. Your consumption, they say 5,000. Okay. Your investment is what you're finding. Why isn't it getting typed? Okay. Your investment is what you're finding. Your government purchases is given as 1,005. Your net exports is your export minus import. So exports is 980, imports is minus 1,200. Now someone might ask you, what do you do for this tax revenue? Ignore, guys. That doesn't come into this. This can also be calculated using the expenditure approach of GDP. Okay, right. So work things around. Can you all give me I? I'm not going to teach you all maths. Work things around. How much do we get if you calculate I? 1,720. Okay, so I'm hoping you all can do that. So we end up with 1,720. Going with the majority answer should be correct. Okay, so this is the answer, right? That is 27. Okay, question 28. This is a bit of a good question, but again, not that challenging. They have given you a diagram like this. They've given you a consumption function, right? A point is given, and they're asking you the diagram above displays a linear consumption function. That means the MPC is the same, right? Constant MPC. If autonomous consumption is 4,000, so they have said autonomous consumption is 4,000 given in the question. So they're saying this number here is 4,000. We just make some notes about what they tell you, right? And then they're telling you what is the amount of consumption expenditure. What is the amount of consumption expenditure? Does point B correspond to? So at the level of point B, right? They're asking you how much is the consumption expenditure at this point, right? So they're asking you at this point, how much is the consumption expenditure? How do we find that? What do we do? Right. There are two ways of getting this done. I think one is you can make your consumption equation. Another one is by finding MPC. Okay, shall we just jot these points here? Right. So when the income, right, income and consumption, when the income is 0, how much was consumption? It was 4,000. When the income is 10,000, how much is consumption? Consumption is 9,000. Okay. How did I get these values, guys? I got the values from by reading the graph. So I'm taking these 2 points, right? This is 1 point, income 0, consumption 4,000, income 10,000, consumption 9,000. Okay. Based on this, can you calculate MPC now? Can you calculate marginal propensity to consume? Change in consumption divided by change in this. So how much is our MPC? MPC is equal to change in consumption, 4,000 going to 9,000 is 5,000. Change in income, 0 going to 10,000 is 10,000. So we get how much? We get an MPC of 0.5. So that means, right? What does this mean? MPC 0.5 means if our income increases, our consumption increase, say income increase by 1 rupee, consumption increase by 0.5. So then here they have told you this, right? Now when you're going from here to here, right? Look very carefully here. You need to find the consumption expenditure at this point. So you're going from 10,000 to 20,000, right? When you're going from 10,000 to 20,000, how much is your consumption increasing by? Can you all put that into the equation and find out? It's a very simple thing to do. So MPC is 0.5 is equal to change in income, change in consumption divided by change in income. Change in consumption is what we need to find, right? Change in consumption we need to find. The change in income, we know 10,000 is going to 20,000. So change in income is 10,000. How much is our change in consumption, guys, now? If you solve this, how much do we get? as change in consumption. It's 5,000. So change in consumption is equal to 5,000. Now, is your answer 5,000? Is that your answer? No. They're not asking you for the change in consumption. They're asking you what is the actual value of consumption. So when it's going from 10,000 to 20,000, they are saying consumption is changing by 5,000. The change here, right, is 5,000. So if the change is 5,000, what is the value that needs to come here? Right? It's how much? 14,000. Exactly. Yes, there are two ways of doing this. Right? This is one way. I think this way is a bit more easier. The other way of doing it is you can find the consumption function, right? This is one way of doing it. Okay. The other way you can do is you can make the consumption equation. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. So they have given you, now you found MPC is 0.5. You found autonomous consumption is 5,000. So you can say C is equal to, autonomous consumption 4,000. 4,000 plus, second, okay, 4,000 plus 0.5y. So you can YD, okay? And then what you can do is you can simply substitute 20,000 for YD and you can find. Yes, how do you get 19,000? I don't see a 19,000. Yeah, the change in consumption is 5,000, right? So C is equal to 4,000 plus 0.5 into YD is how much? YD is 20,000, right? 20,000. So you get C is equal to, at 20,000, how much is the income then? 4,000 plus 10,000, you end up with C equals 14,000. So two ways you can figure it out. One is by getting the change and then adding the change to the previous one, or else you can make the consumption equation and you can get it done. Anyway, is all right as long as you get the correct answer. Fine, got it? Yes, no, check, lost. It's a good question. It's interesting. Interesting in sense, not that hard. It's not rocket science. We would have done harder questions in the past, but I'm hoping that's fine. Okay, done. Question 28. Then we go on to question 29. Okay. Economists assume that as real GDP increases, what do they assume? When real GDP increases, what do you think the answer is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exports will increase, imports will decrease, net exports constant, net exports increase, net exports decrease. What do you think happens here? When your real income is high? 1, 2, 3.